really what we're trying to do here at the Center for Biblical Unity is we don't want to just have a conversation about race. Like, race is one of a suite of the critical social theories. We want CFBU to be the go-to place where they can find a biblical perspective about these things. So what is another area that we really need help with?
Ooh, child studies.
All right, let's talk about that.
So child studies is a branch of the critical social theories, and it just looks at children as being an oppressed category. And I have done quite a bit of reading on child studies and what that looks like in the future and things like that. But I am not an expert in child studies. Read some first sources. Still, like, there's so much to talk about and to dig into and to understand what does it mean to be an ally for a child. So I would love to have a conversation with someone about that, because it impacts so many things. It impacts homeschooling. It impacts, just education overall. If a child is considered an oppressed person and parents and adults are considered the oppressors, how do we then, raise children? Or does it become a thing where the state can easily step in to become that middle person or the guardian of your child? There's a law, not a law, it's a bill right now that's before the California governor, and it's SB 107. If he signs it by the 30th, then that would make California a sanctuary state for LGBTQ plus youth who are fleeing their state where,
fleeing
laws,
their parents.
Well, fleeing their parents because their state has given their parents jurisdiction and saying, your parents have the final say. So a child can flee from their parents and would be able to come to California.
So if the parent doesn't affirm their gender confusion.
Yes. They can flee and come here.
And then California will pay for all of their mental health and whatever medical treatments they want. And
that's and when I skimmed through the bill, that's what it looked like. It looked like the state would step in as a temporary guardian to be able to protect the kids who are fleeing from, their parents or from their state, to be able to find treatment. Even if their parents were in agreement, they could then send them to California. But this bill also protects parents who are in agreement and wanting their children to participate in either hormone therapy or transitions and, things like that. And where in their state, they may come up on some kind of charge, for either child endangerment or, whatever that state's rules or regulations would be. The parents can also flee to California. And, I'm not really sure what all would entail for the parent to come here. I'm not sure if they get hotel vouchers to, stay for a while. I'm not sure. I don't know all of that. But it does make me wonder, if this bill passes, does that then set a precedent that the state can, just easily say, hey, look, we can take your kid.
Yeah.
We'll make these decisions for you because parents are unsafe. Parents are traumatic. Parents are triggering. These are a lot of the words that we hear with race. And one of the reasons why when we first started talking about race, we said, hey, be careful in how you use a lot of this terminology, because you're going to see it pop up in other theories. Well, child theory is one of those theories where it's very concerning to know that, when we talk about trauma and traumatic events, that, a parent can just be traumatic, an adult can be traumatic simply because of their presence.
Yeah. So again, this is the issue. The help that we need is somebody who has done more research on child studies. Sometimes it's called critical child studies. Sometimes it's called critical education studies. It goes by different names. But looking at children's rights according to not the Katie Faust definition, but more of like along the UN lines of things. But, if you know someone or you are someone, please write to us because, really what we're trying to do here at the Center for Biblical Unity is we don't want to just have a conversation about race. Like, race is one of a suite of the critical social theories. It's usually the one that people get introduced to first. But this is why we've been doing content this season on queer theory. This is why we need some help with critical child studies. We've covered it a couple of times on the family meetings. And we want CFBU to be the go-to place for people who are running into any of the critical social theories, where they can find a biblical perspective about these things. So, in order to do that, we can lead that charge, but we're going to need more people. And we have our academic advisory council. They have different areas of expertise, but we're looking to, continue to link arms with people who are engaged at the academic level on the research. So if you know somebody, or you are somebody who knows some things about this area, please reach out to us and let us know.